Welcome, huge welcome to the first ever episode. So if you're here with me breaking free with Nick O'Brien, let's really understand first why you're here, why I'm here, what this is all about, and what it is that we are going to achieve together. So breaking free is really about understanding people like you and me, the working people, the average people, whether it's the day job, whether it's raising the kids and the family, whether you're just trying to figure out the home you want to build, the life you want to create. It's for you guys, for us to actually break free to the life that we want, into something that we want. It may not be everything to begin with, but it's no longer going along day by day, just living that crappy day job, just living a life of no purpose that's draining, just literally waiting to die, living life of quiet desperation, just being told the lies, waiting to retire, hoping you have enough pension to retire, just getting through day by day and hiding that with the idea of going on a holiday or whatever it is. This is about how do we actually change. Now, I don't want to ramble too much about this, but there's a lot of crap on the line online, all the shitty courses, influencers, people with their blueprints, who don't understand us. They've never lived a life like us, and yet they think they can help us. They think they can say, hey, just follow this. And you may have bought some of these courses. Like, all you need is an hour a day, or you just have to put your mind to it and put more work into it. They don't know what we're going through. They don't know the lives we are living, yet we do. And so they make all the money preying on our fears and never actually help the vast majority of us. And that's what changes today. That's what changes with this YouTube channel, these videos, week after week. We choose to change that now. So if that sounds like you're in the right place. If you want to create more, and if you want to see it really happening from someone who doesn't have that amazing backstory, who doesn't have something miraculous or heartbreaking to share that changed their life, changed their perspective, a real, genuine, day-to-day job worker who said enough is enough. No get-rich online schemes, no getting lucky on trends. Actually, let's just rebuild ourselves. Let's become the version we want. Let's become better. Let's be better. Let's create that better life. We have the ability, and so now we're going to do it. And that's exactly what this is all about. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, yes, that's me. Yes, I want to get involved. Yes, I want to follow along. You have to be prepared to commit to the long view. So I'm not talking about 30 days, 90 days. We might break things down. We might have 30-day challenges. We might have tasks where it takes 30, 60 days. We might be saying, let's just stick to this one thing, this one action for the next 30 days or the end of this calendar month to keep on building. But you have to have the long view. We have to be able to say here, we are in this for at least years. At least a couple of years. Life could be hugely different in a couple of years if we start today and we keep building. And you have to accept that you will do the actions, even if you haven't yet got the results, and give it a year, 18 months, 2 years of doing the actions before we start judging the results too harshly. We have to be prepared to do that. Yeah, there's all those crappy guru idiots online who said, no, you can do it in 90 days. No, because they don't understand us. They may have spent 90 days on their mum's couch with fuck all to worry about in life and could create what they wanted, learn what they want, do the trends. Fine. But they don't understand where we're coming from. And a lot of that is mental. And that's going to be one of the three huge topics. I was about to say pillars and sound like one of those douchebags with their systems. It's one of the three huge topics we'll focus on. Literally reframing ourselves, reframing our mind, rewiring our mind. A lot of brain training so we don't keep falling back. I'm literally talking about rebuilding ourselves. And this is the best bit. Like, bringing up the courage to start making these videos, I realized right now is the perfect time because the best part, no one cares. Let me explain that. No one cares. So when you get started, especially if you start by yourself, no one cares what you're doing and the results that you've got. So if you decide, actually, fuck it, let's actually completely change how we talk to ourselves. Let's completely change the actions that we do. Yes, we still got all the day jobs. I'm not going to turn into one of those idiots online who just say, hey, change your life, change your actions, you get what you want. You still have to do the job or raise the kids or look after the home or whatever it is that you do. That still has to happen until you get out of that. You're not choosing to be free. You're not just walking free. You're breaking free. I completely understand you have that anchor there that you need to break away from before you can start living the way you want to. And a lot of that is mental. I started to realize a lot of that is mental, all in our heads. And so the biggest changes I've started seeing is when I deliberately said to myself, let's rewire my mind. Literally going through all of this, guided visualizations, and we'll go into that so much every week because it's so important. However, I am talking about let's completely change the way you think, change the way you talk to yourself, what you focus on, and start seeing what changes in reality for you. On that time delay effect, a month from now, 6 months, 2 years, be prepared to commit to that long view. So last thing, before I start jumping into the details, because I'm going to share exactly what I do. And that works for you, if you want to follow that, if you want to find your own version of that, perfect. I'm going to share it all so you can actually see it. Not just some crappy, mysterious blueprint and say, oh, if you meditate 10 minutes a day, your life will change. Will it? Will it really? No. So let's really jump into the details every week. So the bit I want to cover first, breaking free. What does free mean? Freedom. People talk about, I want to be financially free. Learn this and you'll have financial freedom for the rest of your life. What does that mean? And it's going to mean different for everybody. So I want you to start thinking about freedom as a scale. It's not a yes, no. Are you free? Yes, no. Because technically no one is free because there's always consequences to it. So something. Ignoring the top elite politicians who for some reason have to abide by the law. For all of us, you're never going to be truly free in the definition of free because there will be things you're not allowed to do, breaking the law, things that have bad consequences that you don't want. So it's not about that. I'm talking about a scale of freedom. So right now you might be thinking, I can possibly afford to take my family on holiday. Someone else might be thinking, I would love to take my family on holiday a second or third time every year. But right now I can't. I can only afford it once. That's one scale of freedom. Someone else might want that huge house, huge family home, or their own penthouse or whatever it is, and not have to worry about the monthly payments. Maybe they want everything, the house, the car, the holidays, whatever it is. Maybe it's freedom from worrying about your kids. Whether you want some safety for them, a certain education for them, or whatever it is. Maybe you want to set up trusts for them. That's a different type of freedom. How much freedom you have from worry about their future. Maybe you want freedom from the crap you go through each day. Maybe you want freedom from being so negative and talking yourself down. Maybe you want freedom from all the choices that other people make for you, maybe in your day job. You're like, I've had it with this manager. I've had it with this company. Yes, it's paying the bills, but I would love to go and work for a company like that. Or I'd love to go and have this kind of career, but I got stuck in this one. I can't seem to make the jump. Whatever it is, you might absolutely love. There may be a company, and there probably is, a company out there with, in the type of industry, the things that they do, the work environment that you love, that you just get up and the week just flies by because you're so consumed by it. And if that's what you want, perfect. The point I'm making is when we say breaking free, figure out what the freedom looks like for you and start somewhere. One area of your life. It might be how you are in relationships, for example. You might be thinking, I'm holding myself back because I haven't worked on myself, whether that's your physical body, more likely the way you think and talk. Then when you're approaching people, find at least one area to start with. What do you mean by breaking free? Because in later weeks, what I'm planning on doing is really going into the intentions. We'll talk a lot about action and intentions. You must have both of them. Whenever we say two things, people often think, oh, it's consistency, intensity. No, because you're already consistent. We'll jump into that a lot more next week. You must have actions and intentions. In anything that's worthwhile, you have those two things. So remember that, and we'll keep going into that. We'll repeat that again and again because it's so important. So for now, figure out what breaking free in one area, one step. nudging that scale upwards. That's really what you want to think about. Nudging that scale of freedom upwards. What does that look like for you? What's that next nudge going to be in your life? Your life, your partner's life, your family's life, whatever it is that you're focusing on. So that's the point of this channel. And if you're still with me, let's really jump into the details. Now, what I want to do is I want to document, show you physically what I'm doing, and hope that's going to inspire you, motivate you. And once you've gone through that action of what is my freedom, where am I on the scale in my head of what freedom looks like, how do I nudge that up, I hope you're going to be inspired and motivated to find the actions that you can apply. Whether you copy things I do exactly, whether you follow along, or whether you find an alternative that fits you, an action that meets your intention. I'm going to repeat those two things so many times you'll be bored of it. An action that's aligned with your intention. If my actions align to your intentions, great, copy them. If they don't, find what works for you. And if you're saying, but I don't know what works for me, well, find something. Try something. If it doesn't work, great, you're one step closer. Now, so where I am right now, being stuck in a day job, soulless, boring, I just can't. Don't really need to explain it. You probably understand. If you don't, you might be in the wrong place. If you do understand what I mean, you're in the right place. I just can't anymore. It's just so soulless. I'm in my mid-30s. I can't do that for another 30 years, probably longer. If governments keep screwing us over, I can't just keep doing that to make ends meet, pay bills, and have a bit of spare cash at the end of the day. Now, this is what I call a day job dependent. Right now, I am a day job dependent. And I know some twat head guru is going to turn around and say, it's because you've chosen to be. You will be a day job dependent until you choose not to be. And as soon as you choose not to be, you are no longer a day job. No. As long as I keep having the bills coming in and my income is coming from that day job, I am a day job dependent. Now, if you love that, and if you love what it gives you, if you're happy being dependent on that because of the life it allows you to live, you and your family, great. If you're going skiing 5 times a year and your day job allows you to do that and you love that and your wife, husband, kids love that, great. If not, if you're not there, then let's figure it out. Let's figure out if you want to be dependent on a much better day job. If you want to be not just dependent, but part of something massive, something much bigger, great. If you want to break free, I'm completely replacing that. Again, that's my intention, so my action will be aligned to that intention. If that's not your intention, if that's not the vision of your life, visions, we'll go into a lot more of that, fine. Honestly, that's absolutely fine. Figure out the vision that you want for yourself. And this is a huge discovery process, which is why we'll go into it more. So, I don't want to remain confined and limited by my current lifestyle, and I place that in my day job. Again, as we just said, you've got to figure out what that actually means and looks like for you. So how? 3 things, the 3 big topics I'm going to be focused on every week, and you'll get bored of them. They'll be the same 3 topics, because I'm not reinventing the wheel here, right? I'm not saying, oh, I found a secret formula like every other knobhead on the YouTube channels and the Instagram ads claim to have discovered. It's the same thing. I'm not reinventing the wheel. We all know what to do. The problem is we don't do it. Now, here's how I see it. I genuinely believe there's a golden path. In my head, I visualize this as a golden path that exists for everybody. Now, that golden path is the life you would love to live. It's not about, here's a goal, go and reach that one goal. It's not about, hey, if you go and get to this point, you'll be happy. No, it's a continuous path. It's a golden path. And along that path are the experiences you want to enjoy, the goals you want to achieve, the things you want to create, unexplored adventures, unexpected relationships, joyous moment to next joyous moment. Yes, there will be work to get from one step to the next step along this golden path, but it's the life you want to live. It's the life you get up to every day and go, yes, let's find what the next stage on this golden path is. I believe that exists. And I believe that a lot of people who generally try to mean good online are trying to show you how to live part of that golden path, and that they already do, and so they're trying to help you live the same. So maybe it's a little bit harsh, maybe they've got some good intentions on that, but they don't understand us. The day job dependents, the ones stuck at home, the ones raising the kids, the ones who can't just say, fuck it, let's just do whatever this guy says to do, because you are so dependent on something else, so consumed by something else. And your mind is there, lives there, fixated there, and we need to change that. So what we have is the golden path over here, but we're stuck over here. And we need to somehow get from where we are and go and find this golden path so that we can go along and live on it. It's not as simple as just do this and it all works fine. That's the bit they're missing. They can't take us from where we are today, the way we act, the way we behave, the way we think, the way we talk. They don't know how to get us from here onto this golden path. And every time they say, just follow this blueprint, they don't understand that that blueprint does not work where we are. And we need that help, that guidance, the coaching, the leadership, whatever you want to call it, the good examples to get from here, where we are stuck today, onto this golden path. And that's what we're going to focus on so much. That's what I mean by let's be better. Let's reimagine ourselves, reframe ourselves, rebuild ourselves so we can get from the place that we're stuck in, the place that we are dependent on, so we can get to that golden path in life that we want to live. And that path's going to look different to everyone, which is absolutely perfect. Why? It's why it's such a good thing to chase. And we'll jump into that so much more. So the three big pillars that we're going to follow on, the three big topics. I'm trying to avoid saying pillars because it makes me sound like a douchebag with some kind of corporate system. Three big topics to get you from where you are. And you're going to see me going from where I am now, day job dependent, mid-30s, nothing special going on, to creating, rebuilding myself to get onto that golden path and discovering what that golden path holds for me in my life. For you to get to that golden path so you can start discovering what that golden path looks like for you, what's on your golden path in life. Those unexplored adventures, those unexpected relationships, those joyous moments. What are they for you? Who knows? Let's go and find them. So, rewiring your mind. That's topic number one. Guided visualizations. I'm going to focus so much on that because the more I've actually been focused on that in the last couple of weeks has been the most happiest that I have been at all this year. So August right now, when I'm in the middle of a guided visualization, literally writing and creating my own to then record and listen to, they have been some of the most happiest times. And I'm just in the flow. I've actually sat down a few days later, reread something that I've written and thought, where the fuck did that come from? That's fantastic. And then I calmed down a bit and realized I need to edit and work on it a bit more. However, I still surprise myself on what comes out a few days later. And so I'm going to go so much more into that. Second one, building my fitness. You're going to see this, and I'll flash up a quick update. You probably think, just another guy saying, get fit, get into shape. Actions and intentions. And I want to jump into this a lot more next week. But there's reasons for this. Now, I generally believe if you want to break free, if you want to really change something in life, changing your fitness can be a huge way to help you do that, because it helps reframe your mind. It really does. And when you do that without intention, it doesn't help. So how many people do you see are so rich, so wealthy, millionaires, billionaires, but don't have the fitness? You think, he's just an old fat banker. So why does it not apply to him? People have different lives. And then you look at other people in their day job. I look around, I see people who clearly go to the gym, still stuck in the same shitty day job. They've done it for 10 years longer than me, but they're still stuck there. I see people who can run a 6-minute mile and think, damn, that's impressive. I would rest for at least 6 minutes on a mile, but they're running it and they're still stuck in a crappy day job. The intention there is missing. And that's what we're really going to focus on. The actions and the intentions. And so I believe changing your fitness, if you do that with the intention to change yourself, change other areas of your life, the fitness bit helps reframe you because you physically change. You become different. And that's the important part. And then the third bit is action. Taking action. And I'm going to share the details of what it is I am physically building. What I'm actually doing, what I said I'm going to do next week, if I actually done it, give you updates, give you results, see how I course correct or play things out. Did I get the results? No. Am I going to repeat the actions? Quite possibly. Again, long view. How are we going to build this up? And as I can't remember if I mentioned this before, or if I mentioned this on the first attempt of this video where I didn't actually plug my microphone in. I said about the long view. You have to focus on the long view. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Focusing on the long view. You might have to do actions again and again with the results to come later. And you're going to see exactly how I attempt to do that, how this goes. Now, you might be thinking, where on earth was all this coming from? How can you just decide to do this? Like, how can you just take these actions confidently and say, well, you're doing all of this, you're sharing all of this, why? What do you know? Look internally. So much that I hear and listen to when I'm looking at the motivational and the inspirational videos on YouTube and people who have achieved things that I would love to achieve, so much of it is internal. When I look at how much of my life I've wasted, where I've bought courses that were a load of bollocks, where I've wasted money, it was all external. They're like, oh, just go and sell this crap. Just ship this latest plastic crap from China to America and sell it on Amazon, or go and do this and spread these links. It was all external. There was nothing going on internally. But every time I wanted to try something new, I wanted to change, when I was getting fed up of being a day job dependent, I was all coming internal. And so I know the changes, the answers are going to come from internal first, which is why I focus so much on the guided visualizations, and why I'm going to talk about the mental rewiring, the visualizations, the way I'm starting to talk to myself, actually dedicating time. The track at the moment is about 11 minutes. So I'm not going insane. I'm not saying let's completely go mental. I'm saying I start with a track in the morning. That's 11 minutes long, a guided visualization of me. What am I working on next? What am I focusing on next? What are the actions I'm going to take? And I visualize that again and again and again. Honestly, changes so much. But that's all internal. So that's how I know about all of this. That's how I know that we can break out. That's how I know freedom is a sense of scale. That's how I know how I'm going to nudge my scale up to the next bar on that scale of creating my own freedom. That's how I know I need to create it. That's how I know I want to replace my current income with an online income, because I know what my freedom looks like. I know where I want to go. For you, it might be very different. Just make sure when I say make sure you know what that looks like for you, you might get it wrong. I got it wrong multiple times. It's a discovery process, which is why I hate those twat coaches who's like, I will show you how to find your purpose. No, you don't find your purpose, you choose it. Just like I am choosing this. I chose other things before. It didn't work out. It didn't align because I was in that discovery process and I didn't go internal and I didn't go deep enough for long enough. It's all long view. So as you're going through all of this, and I'm showing you the actions I'm taking, when you're following along, find what it is that's internal for you. Don't be focused on the external. He said to do that, so I done what he said to do, and where are my results? Where's my money? It doesn't work like that. Go internal, figure out what this looks like for you, your intentions. If you get it wrong, great, because you tried something. I'm getting off topic. We're going to go into that a lot more next week. However, everything we go through, make it internal, start from an internal place. That's how I know I have decided to get my life sorted now. And that's how I know I can help you. And that's why I'm going to document every single step. And as I said, no one's going to care, potentially 2 months, 3 months from now. So I have that whole freedom. If no one cares right now, I can share everything. But in 2 years' time, people will care if I have the results. The physical body, the fitness, the change in the way I'm thinking and talking. You'll see it, and the results I will have, you will see it in 2 years' time. And then people will care. And then I'd be so delighted that I put all this together, committed to this every week, committed to you just as much as I committed to myself. Because all of that starts internal, and I dare say it will stay internal for the rest of my life. The results will start to show externally, but everything's going to come first and keep coming first internally. So let's figure out what that looks like for me, so I can show you what that looks like for you, so you can follow along or find what aligns to your intentions. So, after a slightly longer ramble than I anticipated, I'm going to jump into the details. Each week is going to be more detailed, so I can actually show you what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, the results I've got. So it's not just inspirational, hopefully that was inspirational, ramble. It's real. It's real stuff. Real actions, real things you can follow along with, real results or a real lack of. Who knows? There's going to be a lot of misses on this, and we're just going to keep on going. Keep on going, committing to the long view. So first off, the fitness update. So this is week 1. However, this is 16th of August I'm recording this, 2024. I'm going to flash up a quick progress update. The before picture was taken 31st of July. And then the second picture about 2 weeks later. So for me, I really need to drop body fat. And you can start to see that a little bit in that before after picture. I've already started, which is great. And I need to keep on going. And that's what I'm committing to, dropping that body fat because it annoys me. Now you might be thinking, look, Nick, I don't have a six-pack and I don't care. Great. If you don't care, what do you care about? What would be great for you? Again, you're scared of freedom. What would be another nudge? For me, I've been fat so long, and every time I drop it, I then put it back on. The beginning of this year, I've done 75 days. Fasting, meal plans, exercise, didn't miss a day. And people were saying, like, you've lost a lot of weight. And it was great. And then I fell off. Because I didn't have intentions after those 75 days. I didn't pick up. I just my intentions were for the 75 days. So my actions aligned during those 75 days. And then afterwards, I had a little weekend away. Got the takeaway pizza again, which is one of my biggest vices. And then I just settled into that. I didn't have the intention. I didn't sit down and have that mental exercise. It sounds so simple. Just sit down, set your goals, set your intentions. But I didn't do that again. I was just being happy that I'd done it. And then I just drifted downhill. A few months later, huge again. Like, I didn't even weigh myself in that first picture because I was quite disappointed in myself. By the time I got to that second picture, I was still 10 kilos, about 20 pounds heavier than I was at the end of March? Towards the end of March? So 5 months ago? 4 months ago? Just put most of it back on. Nearly as bad as I was at the beginning of this year. And I was like, that's again, yet another time I've gone stuck in that cycle, that stop-start cycle, the same rut, to think, I've done amazing. And then I undo it all. It's all up here. It's to do with the mind. And that's why now, the difference now, I'm focusing so much on actions and intensity. You must have those, not intensity, actions and intentions. Those two things, any conversation, to make it worthwhile, you must have those two things and figure out how to align them. I was taking actions during the 75 days because I had intentions during those 75 days. I then didn't have any intentions after those 7 days, and so my actions had nothing to align to. And so my results aren't what I wanted. How could they be? Because my actions weren't aligned to any intentions because I hadn't set any. Now, people say you've got to be consistent. You've got to have intensity. You are already consistent. That's the problem. Everyone's already consistent. You look at a time frame, you were consistent. But do you have any intentions? Now, if you're really unhealthy, if you're obese, you have been consistently unhealthy. And if you've got a huge amount of excess body fat, then you've got some intensity in there already to have been putting all that on, carrying all of that, and adding to that over a long period of time. So you've already got consistency. If you're in a day job dependent situation like I am, and then you've already had consistency working on that day job for God knows how many years. I mean, I spent over 2 years spending my evenings, my weekends, getting up early in the morning, getting to the office really early to study for exams. I took about 13 exams to get my SEMA qualification so I could be more consistent in a day job. And I didn't stop to think. I had no intentions. I did, jumping into next week, but my intentions was really get a good job, never stopped to define what that was, be able to get my own house so I could pay rent, pay my bills, save for a deposit, and get my own house. And that's what happened. I never thought beyond that. Again, we'll get into a lot more of that next week. But, going off topic again, that's the fitness update. My goals, find what works for you. My goals is to shed all that fat down so that I can then build up the huge muscle. That's what I want, the big, muscular, lean body. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not saying that's the best thing for you. Figure out what is the best thing for you. Figure out what it is you want. I've always wanted that and never had it. So I mentioned before about if you really want to break free, the fitness part is about you changing, you reframing yourself, you rebuilding yourself with the intention of doing that in other areas of your life. So I've never had that six-pack. I've never had the huge muscles. So I'm going to go and do that. Again, long view. That could be 2 years. It won't be 2 years to lose all the fat, but to lose the fat and build considerable muscle mass will be years. Got to go for the long view. I don't know how exactly I'm going to get there or how long it will take, but I know I'm going to because I am building myself. So figure out what that looks like for you. That could be saying I'm stuck on the sofa all the time, but run 1 mile in 6 minutes. All right, that's what I'm going to do. If that's what works for you, figure out what it is that you want so you can physically rebuild yourself. So that's the fitness update. What I want to end with now on the first week's episode is what is it I'm actually doing? I've talked a lot about what I'm going to do. What am I actually doing so you can follow along? Now, for me, it's about replacing my income with an online income so I am no longer tied down to one physical location. That's me. That's my decision. That's what I want to do. I want to go travel the world, live in different places, and be able to create things, work with people. I don't want to be stuck in IT. That's what I do. I document things in IT. Like, from where I used to be, and then took a job move, I then took literally multiple steps back in my career because the job was, they kind of lied on the job posting, and I just thought, I don't want to go back. I need to change this completely. And so I just end up documenting stuff now in IT. That cannot be my life for the next 30 years. So what will it be? I want to connect with people again. I want to really connect with people like I used to, really be able to help people like I used to, but not with IT, with personal life. And that's where all of this is going. So what I've decided to do, one thing that really changed, I'm trying to avoid those cliche terms, changed my life, because no one thing changes your life unless you've had some near-death experience. Or it's something that happened over years. So something that I've really connected with, that's probably the best way of explaining it, connected with, and I can see how this will help me build something new, was a program from John Assaraf. He has a company called NeuroGym for inner sizes, working on your brain, exercises, but for inside. So hence why he calls it inner size. And a product called Winning the Game of Money. Now you might think, oh, he's just chasing money. It's not actually quite what it's about. What you get is a 12-week program of a visualization. You download the tracks, you do the visualization every day for 7 days, and then the next week you get the next one, and you do that for 12 weeks. And those visualizations, he talks so much about reprogramming your mind, brain training, not here's some tricks, or not here's the latest trend or whatever. He's not saying like here's the latest business model you can just rip and copy, or AI crap or whatever. People to people. Let's reprogram your mind. Let's understand how your mind works so we can change it to what you want. And again, it's not manifestation rubbish. It's not the affirmations where you sit there going, I am a money magnet. Where the fuck is my money? That's not what this is about. We are completely capable of reprogramming our mind because you've programmed your mind. And if you're a day job dependent, you've been programming your mind for years to be stuck in that place. If you're raising your kids, building a family, that's what you know. So as soon as you step out of that comfort zone, as soon as you want to expand out of that, your mind wants to shrink you back in for safety. Safety, comfort in safety. Not comfort in terms of pleasure, comfort in terms of we know what we done yesterday worked because we survived without having to fight for that survival. So let's do the same again. Oh, what's that? You want to go and do this? That doesn't comply with our comfort safety. Let's give it a go. You want to do it for a second day? Yeah, no. And that's why you end up coming back in. And that's where all these gurus give you the crap about find your reason why. Just write down a really big and important reason why, and then you'll keep going. And yet you don't. And they say, well, you don't have an important reason why. And you're like, well, hang on. Maybe I do have a big reason why, but it's not that simple. Again, they don't get us. They can make all the reasons they want while sat in their mum's basement. But if they don't understand us, the average working person, raising kids, families, day job dependents, whatever that version looks like for you, they don't understand us and cannot help us. But when I came across John Assaraf, he can, and he does. Now that Winning the Game of Money has all these other courses and like programs that go with it, but he's like, here is the fundamentals. You must go through this 12-week brain training because everything else stems from that. And that's how I really got hooked on the brain training. And that's why I said, well, what do I need to focus on right now? I want to write something that actually applies specifically to me right now. I understand how this 12-week program is fantastic, and I keep repeating it. And I understand how it's going to help build even bigger things in the future. But specifically right now, I need to be taking action. But I need to be taking the actions that align to my intention. If you simply go ahead and try and take those actions, you're fighting against everything else. You're fighting against when you're tired and you just want that comfort in bed. When you've got the day job to do and you think, well, I've done all of that. Isn't that enough? I've achieved today. I've pushed myself today. I've done what I needed to do today. Is that really enough? You want to sit down and you're like, I've had a hard day. That's where you want to sit and stay so you can preserve energy and go through that same survival cycle tomorrow. You need to push out of that consistently, again and again, not just occasionally. I need to stop ordering the pizzas. I need to stop playing so much Xbox. Again, that's my old comfort safety zone. I need to be acting with what I want, but I'm not talking about what's my ideal lifestyle. I actually find that hinders more than helps, because it suggests there's only one answer. You've got to create that one final answer. You've got to get it right now, and you've got to work to create that. And once you've got there, that's it. And I actually kind of struggle with that idea. I prefer the 2-year idea, the long view commitment. What am I going to do to build for the next 2 years? Then after that, at some point, I'm going to escape this physical location so I can travel the world. I'm going to commit to that for 2 or 3 years and see where life goes. I don't want to say, I want this massive house. This is my ideal home. It's going to be here, because I don't know where that is. Maybe I will want that at some point. On the other hand, I don't want to say, no, I want to be able to fly to any country I want and live wherever I want for however long I want, or however long the visas allow, and then move on to the next country. I might want to do that for a couple of years, and then after that, I might not. So the ideal lifestyle doesn't actually help. I think it hinders. So I wanted to rewrite something and say, what's coming next? That scale of freedom. What's the next nudge? Not 0 to hero, right? This isn't a Hercules Disney movie, as fantastic as that movie is. We need to nudge that one next step. So I wrote a visualization for myself to say, what am I focused on? What's my next success breakthrough? And then I bring back to the actions, and I learned about the visualizations and the way you can keep thinking about it, not just say it, but what's it, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, but really the different ways of visioning. Fast, slow, color, black and white, huge images, different angles, slowly, quickly, really putting yourself in there. The whole purpose of this is so that when you actually take the action, your brain has already done it. There's a saying from Lisa Nichols, who helps with the Winning the Game of Money, and John Assaraf. She says, you're something along the lines of, I'm going to butcher this, your body will never live where your mind has not already been. So you might visit, but you're never going to live where your mind has not already been. So if you want to say, I've been a fat sod sat on the sofa for God knows how many years now, I want to be this healthy person hitting the gym. You might visit, but if you want to live that, your mind needs to be there first. You're not just going to wake up one day and go, oh, look, I happen to be strolling to the gym. That never happens. You're constantly thinking about, I should get in shape. I should get in shape. I should get in shape. I should go to the gym. Let's go to the gym. I'm going to the gym. And then you go to the gym. Right? That's a very simple example. So what I'm doing is training my mind to say, look, these are the actions that I'm focused on 2 areas, my fitness and building what I said I was about to explain to you, and I realize now I haven't. I'm taking actions on building those 2 things. So I see myself physically taking those actions again and again. And I know the next action that I need to take. I don't know if it's going to work, but I know the next action I'm saying I'm taking. And I see myself doing that again and again and again. And so when I now go and do those actions, I don't feel uncomfortable. Or I don't feel as uncomfortable. My brain is expecting to be here. My brain isn't like contract me back in to say, whoa, why are we doing that? We don't need to do that. My brain's saying, you're taking an action that we already knew you were going to take. You're taking an action we've already seen yourself taking. You're taking an action you've already seen yourself taking and succeeding at. You're taking an action you've already seen yourself doing, already seen yourself succeeding at, and already seen and felt, not just seen, felt the result that you desire. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Continue. And that's, to an extent, that's really what's happening. So, what I'm doing is I've decided, after research and learning, studying skills as well, I'm going to do the affiliate course. So Again, I love that one in the Game of Money from John Assaraf, so I want to share that as many of you as possible. And of course, I want to make money online so that I can go and create more. So the whole idea is email-based marketing. And I'm going to show you, try and write this up so you can see it on the video, see if that graphic works. You need to find a way to create a traffic source. And I'm going to be giving away that guided visualization for free. Say, hey, if you want to get my email list, here's the guided visualization. Or vice versa. If you want the guided visualization, that's working so well for me, give me your email address and listen along, and here, use this guided visualization. See how it works. Now, naturally, all the marketing gurus and the people I'm learning from are saying, hey, look, you're going to have to spend money on ads to bring your traffic in. So you want a tripwire. So you give them something away for free. Why not then try to sell them something as well? And then can you sell them an upsell? Which again makes perfect sense. I know probably some people are thinking, you don't want that kind of online scam. It's not a scam. Either you want it or you don't. And if you do want it, you want more of it. And hopefully I can give more of it. And I'm going to show how it works and how amazing it is. And again, hopefully you get a sense of that I genuinely believe in this and I've enjoyed this so much, which is why I'm throwing all my eggs into this basket, so to speak. So we give a guided visualization away for free to start building a traffic source. To help fund that traffic source, the adverts, the tripwire is going to be some more visualizations that one focuses on a focus burst now. So you want to, maybe you need to get away from your kids, or you've had a long day at work, or you want to get something done before work. Like, right, I need to focus on this now, but the voices in my head are all over the place, or I'm feeling tired or drained. I need a little focus burst. Guided visualization to help you with that. And then two other visualizations. One about your future self, so you can start to see yourself succeeding in the future. And another one's about doubts and hesitations, and not just saying, let's remove doubts, because you never remove doubts. It's more about how do we use them as signals. So when we see and feel the doubts, we keep moving forward. We don't back off like we're used to doing. We're saying, hang on, that's the path of growth. We do the opposite. We stay where we are in that safe comfort zone. We start to feel those doubts. That's the path of growth, and that's the path I want. So it's actually a good signal to keep going. That's what the other visualization is about, which is going to be the $7 trigger. Yeah, order that. Only $7. And with the brainwave training technologies, the soundtracks will have the theta waves to really help you create and visualize and relax as you do this. And then there'll be a whole bunch of subliminals and a bonus guided visualization for energy and raising your energy and vibrations for action. So all of these visualizations, reoccurring theme you'll see throughout all of this, is taking action. I hate people who say, think about it and it will be yours. No, it won't. We'll go into that next week. What absolute codswallop. Got to take action. But people kind of disassociate the two. I've known coaches and mentors who talk visualization, manifestation, and then as soon as you get in closer circle, like, so what's your plan to do it? What actions are you taking? Like, I'm sorry, you've never mentioned this before. It's like, well, of course you're going to do actions. Well, what's the point in visualizing it? Why am I focusing on the result? I can go take the actions by myself, and they just complete 180 flip around. Like, thanks for that. You've given me no value. So all of this, whenever we're visualizing, is always going to come back to action. So that when you take the action, your brain has already done it. Your brain is expecting it. Your brain likes that you're doing it. That's what we're going to be focusing on training. And then the market gurus are always saying, have an upsell. Again, it's not scammy or whatever. It's, if you love this, you love it. If you're not interested, you're not interested. If you are, you are. You're interested in more of what I'm giving you. So the upsell will be to a club I'm starting, the MMB, the Monthly Mind Builders Club. I'm going to be writing a new guided visualization every month. You get the subliminals. So I've got to say the bump offer. A whole bunch of subliminals, bonus guided visualization. I'll be about either $21 or $27 add-on to the $7 visualizations. If you want the whole shebang there, the subliminals are based on the guided visualizations. So they really enhance, really improve, and hopefully speed up your results. So that you're training your mind as you rest, nap, take a sleep, really getting those subliminal auto suggestions into your subconscious. And then when you take the guided visualization on the exact same topic, Your brain's already there. Your brain's ready to go. You're reinforcing existing pathways. So that's why the subliminals are so powerful when used. And it's not that crap that you see where someone's saying, I am a money magnet. Money flows to you freely. No, it doesn't. There's a lot of money in the world and it ain't flowing. It's flowing to very, very specific places. It ain't flowing around the world. No matter how much you like to say it to yourself. You got to focus on the actions, which is what all of this is based on. And if you love that, and you think, yes, I want a new guided visualization that goes into a specific topic so we can keep building step by step. Repetition. All of this is repetition again and again, step by step. That next bit of me building myself up to rebuild, reframe, reimagine myself, recreate the person I'm giving to your partner, to your family, to the world. You're doing that again every month, or every day of every month, but every month having me give you something new, a new visualization, plus the new subliminals to go with it. Some of which will be voiceovers if you prefer hearing what's being said, as well as the subliminal suggestions that are underneath that you can barely hear or just not hear. And there'll be versions that have the white noise where you can't hear the voices, so you can nap or sleep with them. So there'll be about 3 or 4 subliminal versions with the same commands, same suggestions, all bolstering the guided visualization. So you get that. You get a kickoff call. It'll either be a pre-recorded video or a live call, depending on where I am, what we can do. Going in on that topic, say, hey, intentions and actions. What's your intention this month? What are the actions? Here's a very specific topic we can focus on. Guided visualization to help you see how that aligns to your intentions, or what intentions you can set that aligns to you and your vision that this visualization helps with. And now let's take actions. And now to really implement, you'll get a 7-day challenge. So the first 7 days of every month, there'll be a 7-day challenge, only about 15, 20 minutes a day. So it's not a huge chore. It's something that you can do every day and repeat if needed. That focuses on that same topic, that focuses on that guided visualization that I will create for you. So you can actually implement. I say, great, I've got another download. No, use it, listen to it, take some action, go through discovery processes, challenge yourself just a little bit, and then build on that the next day, and then build on that the next day, and then build on that the next day. And then day 6 and 7 will be you reaffirming that, you actually absorbing that into yourself, into your rewiring your mind, basically. And then from there, you can repeat that throughout the week if that's aligned to your intentions. And if not, you adjust it to what does align to your intentions. And when you sign up to that, you get the even if. So I've already created the first set, the even if guided visualization. So you take action, even if you're tired, even if you're not sure what's going to happen, even if you're not getting the results yet, you take action, so you keep going. It goes right into that. So if you want the guided visualization for that, the subliminals that come with that, and the 7-day challenge that comes with that, you get instant access to that one straight away when you join the monthly Mind Builders Club. So that's what I'm setting up. The idea with that, again, this is like any funnel you've heard of. So you join in visualization for free to join on my email list. I'll try and give you some more visualizations if you love them for $7. I'll try and get you to get the subliminals for about another $21 or $27, so you can really, really enhance your brain training. And then say if you want more of this every month, as well as instant access to the even if version of visualization, subliminals, and the weekly call kickoff, and the 7-day challenge, so you are constantly reminded to work on yourself. So you're constantly coming back to working on yourself. Then I'm going to offer all of that. In fact, by the time you're watching this, if it's no longer August 2024, then that is already on offer. And the aim is to then bring that person onto my email list. And that's the skill I'm going to be focusing on. Email copy, because that would allow me to replace my income. So everything I just talked about is about, if I can make those sales, it will help fund the advertising budget. So I can keep growing my advertising budget, reaching more people, and growing my email list. The skill, and again, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I want to change my life, I can't just think about it, you've got to take action. You have to learn a skill on something. If you're trying to change career, do you need to change something about yourself? Do you need to learn something about your career? Certifications, topics, experience, whatever it is. If it's a relationship, again, stay internal. Is there something you need to figure out about yourself? Improve about yourself? really step out of your comfort zone about how you talk, the way you think, the way you share and open communicate, or the way you listen as opposed to talking. You've got to figure out what that is for you so you can work on it and change it to create what you want. So for me, replacing my income, this is what I've chosen. There could have been a dozen other things, right? You might think, well, let's go actually learn how to day trade, forex trading or whatever, if that's what you want. Maybe you want to do the e-commerce stuff, if that's really what you want. Maybe you want to sell and create art, or maybe you're already at the point where you can help coaching someone with something. Maybe you're not, and you want to go and get amazing at one thing in life, show it to the world, and then help people, coach people to do that one thing. You might not be ready to jump into the coaching, but you might be ready to jump into the topic so you can become amazing at it and show everyone so you can help someone. You've got to pick that. What, again, your scale of freedom, what does that look like for you? What is the next nudge on there for you? For me, replacing my income, and this is what I've chosen. You've got to pick something at some point in your life and go with it. But for me, building that email list around the guided visualizations, and then I will use the affiliate link to sell, to encourage people to join NeuroGym. That might not be a sale up front. It might be, hey, register for this webinar. An amazing webinar, by the way, from John Assaraf, all about brain training, visualization, what you can do for yourself. And he has some real world examples of how people have changed their lives. Yes, one is a millionaire example. Another one is about themselves and the way they are in the world, going from suicidal to being fantastic and just having an amazing life. So there's all these different areas where this can apply to. Yes, money is a recurring theme, but it's not about, hey, go and sell this. It's about you reframing your mind and how money has its place in the world. Again, if that does take your interest, the webinar is fantastic. It's a free webinar. You get so much from it. He actually does an inner size on the webinar, so you get an idea. But I want to share that with as many people as possible because of how it's changed the direction of my life. So I'm not going to say it's changed my life because it hasn't. I'm still a day job dependent. It hasn't yet. But it has changed the direction. It has changed some of the actions and the decisions I'm making, hence being here now. So this episode's gone a lot longer than I anticipated. However, that is what I'm doing. So what am I actually doing for next week? That's the aim. That's what I'm going to be building. That's what I'm committing to over the next couple of years. Building that email list based on the brain training, rewiring your mind through guided visualizations, and seeing what can I give away for free? What can I give away to help build that audience? What can I offer to the audience so I can have more income to pay for the advertising, to expand the advertising, to reach more people? And then from that, how can I offer them so much value that I'm genuinely earning the income? It's not so much about, it's just trying to spam people's inboxes, just trying to take money from them. No, I'm genuinely trying to help. That course helped me. I paid for it. It helped me. It still is helping me. And I think it can help a lot of people in very different ways. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is it will help you in the way that's specific to you. Now, of course, he does have other courses, other products, one on fat loss, using your mind, another one on a business breakthrough challenge he does to go to that's a more expensive product, but that is about if you have your own company, whether it's online or brick and mortar, but that is specific for business owners. That's a bigger product. It's got a couple of others, but the Winning the Game of Money is a fantastic place to start if you're brand new to brain training and if you want to really up your game and get with a pro, someone who watched the webinar. You'll completely understand what I mean. I'll try and throw a link in the description below. However, that's my aim. That's what I'm building over the next couple of years. And who knows, as I build that list over those couple of years, hopefully I'll start to make it profitable. Hopefully I can start to offer more from myself to them, as well as that affiliate link. And who knows where it can grow from there. Again, long view, got to keep building. That's what I'm focusing on. So the actions, the actual actions, not just talking about the idea. So for next week, I need to have 2 adverts ready. Now, in all fairness, I've actually been doing a lot more work in the background before I start this video. So next week will be more details on what I've actually done. But I'll show you the sales page that I've written, the sign up page, the tripwire page, my action is I need to get those 2 adverts done by next week. So 2 video adverts. I'll go into more of them about why. Sometimes the case that you need to start somewhere, and I'm at that point. I just need to start somewhere. Yes, I've put some thought into it. Yes, I've learned some bits about it. I'm not saying it's the best advert ever. Probably doesn't have to be. That might actually help on a one-to-one, person-to-person connection. It's not so much about the most amount of clicks. It's about the people I really want on my list who generally want to connect, want to rebuild themselves, want to rewire their mind. So we'll see how that goes. I'll share all those details. I don't have adverts I've recorded, but I need to edit, sort them out. That must be done by next week to show on this video. And I've got the pages, so I need to actually say, look, here's my sales page, here's the Tripwire page. I've got most of the emails. I need to rewrite a couple of them. And that's the big task. That and continuing to hit the gym every day. Yes, I know some people say rest. I hit the gym every day. I do a whole bunch of burpees at home. A mixture of burpees, press-ups, crunches. That's what I'm choosing to do. I'm doing that all 30 days of August or 31 days of August. So, next week, another 7 days of fitness and meal plans kept to, ads completed, and getting everything else ready to show you. And it may work, and I'll show you them, and I'll get to the point where I run those ads and say, hey, look, what's working, what's not, and I'll try something different. If you're watching this 6-12 months from now, you might look back and go, clearly that didn't work. Obviously that wasn't the answer. You're going to see me going through the steps to figure that out. Now, if any of that has actually genuinely inspired you to do anything, any small action, it doesn't have to be the whole shebang, like me setting up affiliate income, replacing my income, that's me, might not be you. You might think, you know what, I'm going to do this, my nudge, this one area of my life. If you know what that is, if this has inspired you to nudge your scale of freedom up a little bit, write in the comments what it is, what you decided on, what you're going to always have the action. What you've decided on becomes your intention. What's your action that's aligned to that intention? You're going to lose some fat. You're going to try and run a 6-minute mile, whatever it is. You're going to get better at your day job, increase your income by a salary or whatever it is that you want to do, that huge career move that you've been dreaming of. You're going to figure out how to make it. Be better in your relationship. I'm not saying that's simple, because that could be huge. In fact, it could be simple, it's still huge. Whatever it is, if this has genuinely inspired you and you've now got some form of intention and some form of action aligned to that intention, do me a favor, throw it into the comments, and I'd love to hear exactly what you're focusing on. But until then, I have some ads to finish, some sales pages to neaten up, and some graphics to throw into this video to show you what I've just been talking about. So, I will see you next week. Oh, 2 things that I'm always going to say, and I will repeat these every time until you get bored of them. Create with your mind, realize with your hands. That's kind of my motto. So I go into that a lot more. It's my kind of response to manifestation. You create it with your mind, hence the visualizations, but you must take action. Visualization, your intention. Actions, you physically do with your hands. Anything you do, you're going to do it with your hands, right? You're going to physically make it happen. Which leads us to the end quote. Whatever it is that you really want to do in your life, back yourself and make it happen.